What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. Hopefully, you guys had a great weekend. Football season started. You got a little Cowboys football. Not the kind of football we probably wanted to see, but we'll talk about that another day. If you're new to the channel, man, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share, all that kind of good stuff. Going to be live tonight. So if you're watching this video on a Monday, we will be live. We're going to talk about recapping what happened on Saturday. Should you be nervous? Should you be panicked? Or as it's preseason, ain't nobody playing. But I'll share my thoughts on it. Definitely want to hear yours. So make sure you guys check it out tonight live. Jimmy Dee and I will be mixing it up. So wanted to get into a little bit of a topic because if you watch the preseason, it seemed like there were same old stories, right? Being able to stop the run, secondary, discipline. And then I look out, man, and I'm looking at these receivers, and you got CeeDee Lamb didn't play, Pickens didn't play, Turpin didn't play. And then you're looking at the other guys. Jalen Tolbert was out there. You saw Mingo out there. You know, Trayshawn Holden out there. Jalen Brooks, Flournoy, Josh Kelly, another undrafted free agent rookie, and the rest of those crew. And you start wondering, is there any value, because we are kind of receiver heavy, believe it or not, now that you get Pickens and you get Turpin going to that role. We're a little receiver heavy, and we've got some needs. And we got some needs at defensive tackle, and we've got some needs in the secondary, particular at cornerback, with just some of the injuries and depth concerns. And it doesn't look like the Cowboys are going out to get a free agent anytime soon. And realistically, on the secondary, there are some free agents out there that you guys can look at. Asante Samuel, I think, still out there. Stephon Gilmore is still out there. So they could find someone if they wanted to. But the Cowboys have been kind of, it's been their MO the last few years, trading during training camp, trading one of their guys, kind of swapping guys. Maybe this guy on the team is not living up to the hype. Maybe he needs a fresh scenery. Maybe ours does as well. And when I look at the receivers, and I mean, take the three out, like I talked about, CeeDee, Pickens, and I'm throwing Turpin in there just because of the value that he brings as an all-around player with special teams, being a wide receiver, being able to utilize out of the backfield if they wanted to. They did a lot last year here and there. You're stuck with Tolbert, Mingo, and Jalen Brooks is kind of your veteran guys that have been hanging around, right? And of the three, Jalen Tolbert is your most proven, right? Led the team in 7 touchdowns last year in an injury-riddled season. Was their legit wide receiver 3. You trade for Mingo. You give up a 4 for him. And then you have Trayshawn Holden, undrafted wide receiver, started his career in Alabama, went to Oregon, got a little off the field issues, caused him to be undrafted, because had he not had that, he would have got drafted. So you get him as an undrafted free agent. You also have, Josh Kelly and Flournoy as well, who you got last year late in the draft. So typically you hold a couple guys, right? You give them an opportunity. So where's the value? And is there much gap in between what we got? And if you watch the preseason game, I'm seeing Tolbert's out there a lot. I mean, they had him on special teams, returning punts. They had, obviously, he played some receiver. And so, he was pretty active. Mingo was out there. Mingo didn't put up the numbers, but he had a pass interference that was a great, would have been a big play, but was a huge positive gain for the Cowboys, not showing up in the stat sheet. Drew another pass interference on another play that was thrown to him. So he draws attention because of his size, and he gets some PIs because of it. So he's got some upside, some potential but you're just not sure about it. And then you look at Jalen Brooks. He's kind of like been the same old. So he is what he is. I don't know if he'll ever have that upside to be a, wide receiver 3 or /4, depending on, what they do with Turpin. And then you've got, Trayshawn Holden. And I talked about him. He led the team in receiving, I believe. He had I think a 45-yard, big play reception. He's 6'3", 205. Tolbert's 6'1", 195, and you got Mingo 6'2", 220. So of the three, which one could give you trade value? Obviously, Holden's a rookie. He's not going to give you value, but if you cut him, better believe a team's going to pick him up. I'm telling you, a team's going to pick him up. Mingo, you gave a fourth for. He only had like 170 yards receiving last year. He came to the team middle of the season, was with the Panthers. Not so good. You're not getting any value for him. The only value that I see this Cowboys team have is Jalen Tolbert. And it's not like he's got a first-round value or high value, but could you get a cornerback that's maybe on a cornerback-rich team that could maybe settle giving away with one and swapping Tolbert for that? More importantly, on a defensive tackle, if you've got a team that might need another receiver that might be heavy in defensive tackle, could you lure a trade to get Jalen Tolbert over there for a defensive tackle? So it's nothing against Jalen Tolbert. I like Jalen Tolbert, but I think he's kind of at that point where he is what he is with the Cowboys. And is that upside? Does he have the upside where he's going to be better than what he is? And I just don't think he is. And he's not bad. They kept him fine. But I'm just wondering, is there value the Cowboys can use without much of a drop-off? Because at the end of the day, I don't think you're getting much of a drop-off from Tolbert to Mingo to Holden. Now, I know Holden, it's one game, but everything that the coaches have talked about in training camp, he's been hyped up a lot. He's been hyped up a lot. And even after the game, you heard Shoddy saying, hey, he's going to be moving up the depth chart. So he's a guy that has gotten the coach's attention. And, hey, he got a little bit of trouble, and maybe that's what this key team needs, a little guy with a little edge, maybe with a little questionable past. Let's say he was found not guilty, so he had no charges against him. But maybe this team needs a little bit of that on their side. They got too many choir boys, you know what I'm saying? So all kidding aside, I think with Holden, you've got a higher ceiling because you're just not sure. He's got the potential. You saw it at Alabama. You saw it in Oregon. He's definitely got the potential. And I think Tolbert's kind of at the ceiling. He is what he is. So I don't know your guys' thoughts. Outside Jalen Tolbert, who could you see the Cowboys parting ways with? Because they need to get something to fix this running defense. And they need to get something to improve that depth at cornerback because you can't expect a lot from Diggs. Hopefully he comes back and he's there, but you can't bank on it. Obviously, you got Bland. And Elam has shown maybe he's got the stuff to bounce back and live up to that first round potential that he was drafted out of Florida with by the Buffalo Bills. So that's where I'm thinking. You got Tolbert is that chess piece that maybe the Cowboys could use to get help at the defensive tackle position or the cornerback position. Just a quick video. Wanted to get your guys' thoughts. You let me know. But all I got to say is, man, the hype is coming. I know it's disappointing. We're going to get into it. If you guys are catching this, make sure you tune in tonight live, Monday night. We are going to be breaking down the preseason. We're going to get into some of the concerns. So make sure you guys do that. And more importantly, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and make sure you guys follow Cowboys Cave because we got a lot of stuff going on. Kelly and I will be live on Wednesday. We've got our fantasy football draft we're going to be doing. We also got our Cowboys Cave tailgate party, man. You do not want to miss it. Week 4, Dallas and Green Bay, man. Old school rivalry. We're going to get there. We're hopefully going to get some revenge on them. So you see the paddles. We've got a giveaway. Not a giveaway, but a fundraiser to help with the tailgate. You guys can get a Cuts by Jones exclusive Cowboys Cave paddle. Get the Cowboys Cave on one side, whatever you want on the other. And that's the theme, man. We're gonna paddle some ass. We're gonna whoop some ass this year, and that's the theme we're going with. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. But again, give me your thoughts. Jalen Tolbert, would you be all right if the Cowboys move on? Do you see enough behind him at wide receiver? You see enough depth that you can let one of these guys go? And I think Jalen Tolbert would be the one that would be probably the best of the crew to let go to get you more value. So give me your thoughts. Appreciate it. Hope to see you guys live tonight. Take care.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.